Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And you might be wondering, like, is it too late for me to succeed? And I would argue that it's easier than ever. And one of the biggest reasons why it's easier than ever to succeed is because most people don't try or even try to try. Like, I came to this realization a long time ago, and once I just looked around me and I realized, wow, like, most people just pretend to be busy or they want to feel important without about themselves without doing anything. I was like, what if I just did the opposite of what they did, right? Like, what if I actually just provided value to whoever and they're just going to pay me a lot of money, right? And most people, for whatever reason, thinks that being too busy gives them a lot of status. That's just the world that we live in today. Doesn't matter what country you go to. Most people are like that, right? Too busy. If I look like I'm busy, rather than actually being busy, that makes it look like I'm important, right? And I have a couple of thoughts on this, right? So once upon a time, even back as far as back as like 2009, 2010, I used to think, oh man, like I'm behind, everybody else because everybody else is ahead of me. I don't understand technology, YouTube, anything like that. And this was in 2009, so that seems like eons ago. And all I was doing is just giving myself excuses about why I shouldn't or should not try to do anything in life because all I see is success stories in front of me that of people who have surpassed me. And one of the things I realize is that all those success stories are people on the internet that I don't know, right? And then when I look at people in real life that I know, it's I don't know if train wreck is the right word, but people don't even try to try. And what's funny is that, for example, even with YouTube, I've been telling people for about more than 3 years, let's start a YouTube channel. Let's do this together. Let's learn and grow. And man, everything just falls upon deaf ears. And again, this problem that I have, and I know this is going to be a more serious problem as I go into the future, is I'm going to have a lot of money, and I'm just not going to have dependable people, right? Here, so hear me out here. Like, it's actually far easier to succeed nowadays more than ever because most people don't know how to suck it or they don't know how to try. And this video was actually inspired by an Alex Hormozy video. If you don't know who he is, some people I asked other people like, hey, do you know what Alex Hormozy is? They have no idea, but he's a big internet entrepreneur. I don't know exactly what he does. I'm not the biggest fan, but I happened to watch a video of his that really resonated with me, and it says and I'm gonna put a link to the video below. But he was like, "Yeah, man, the bar is so low. Um, it's so low to win." And then he talked about how the average person is overweight and broke, and all you have to do is just beat that to beat the average person. And no offense to you if you're either broke or overweight or both, right? It's just that the standards that we have for the average person is really low, right? So, and then he says no one knows how to try, right? And that really resonated. One of the reasons why it really resonates with me because every time like I'm ready to take it to the next level, and this is why I don't talk to most young people anymore. All I get is stares and people like I'm pretty sure they're pretending not to understand what it is I'm talking and they completely understand. And this has been kind of a big problem that I have for a while. Like even when I back way back in the day when I used to play video games, I would I used to find people like I was so dedicated to like being the best, and I wanted to find people who would help me like who would actually better than me. Right. This is why if you ever been in business, I always thought it was like really strange that so many people focus on destroying the competition rather than seeing the competition as a good sign because if you're only as good as your competition, right? So the problem with most people is that they'd rather be the best of the worst than the worst of the best. And I learned this from playing video games because every time I used to play video games back in the day, I got so good because I would get beaten uh, over and over again, and eventually I learned how to win. But one of the things that frustrated me is once there was a time where nobody came out to play video games anymore in an open competition, where they just kind of wanted to be passive and watch. That's when I got started to get a little bit angry because I noticed I wasn't getting better anymore, and we're only as good as the people around us. That's why I always want to elevate the people around me to get better, because if you don't get better, I'm not going to get better, or actually it's much more effort for me to get better. Kind of like learning a language and you're the only person who speaks it, like, trying to learn French but everyone else speaks English, right? That's so much more effort than you trying to learn French and everybody else speaks French, if that makes sense. Like, if you really can't get good at anything unless the people around you are really good. That's kind of like the moral of the story. But so back to my point here is that why is it so easy to succeed nowadays? It's just people just don't even try to try. Like, the bar is low. Like, I get depressed just stepping outside of my house and seeing, man, these people don't even try to try, do they? And that's why I know I will succeed, right? It's not like I'm not some sort of a genius. Like, I mean, think about this. I make up a $500, almost $500 a month just doing Excel sheets on YouTube. No fancy YouTube editing. And why am I able to do that? Because the bar is low. Like, you think if I put in like a lot more effort into doing video editing and who knows what, that's the amount of money that I would make. But then I realized, man, I don't have to do any video editing. I just do record myself um, doing spreadsheets, and YouTube will pay me a lot of money because in that arena, nobody has really stepped it up, right? Everybody's using a whiteboard. But yeah, all right. Well, yeah, this is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. I'll go ahead and post this video. Again, I'm not the biggest Alex Hormozy fan, but I thought this video really resonated with me. And again, this is why I don't like talking to young people, because they don't even try to try. I need to be inspired by the people around me, not being dragged down. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, have a great day, everybody, and we will speak next time.